trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
Well, good evening. Welcome back to VP4 TV and welcome back to Virtual Pool 4 Online. We're here for Friday Night 9 Ball, although what we've got on screen is a reminder to everybody, in case you don't know, that the Black Ball, the Virtual World Black Ball Championships, or the 2022 Black Ball Championships, the final will take place on Sunday night, British Summer Time, starting at 1900 hours, 7 p.m. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Pacific, and it's a race to 15, and it's between Albinario from Sweden and Cobra from the United Kingdom. And that match was finally arranged, I think, a couple of days ago. We were beginning to worry where Albinario was. He hadn't been around for a little while, but he showed up and the match will go ahead. So I'll be there for that on Sunday night. But tonight, if I can get this to work, hang on a minute. That's the one. We're here for Friday Night 9 Ball, and the good news tonight is we've got another full house, and that's 16 in. And we also, of course, have the bracket already up. We've got Houdini against DJ Redo, Jose McEwen against Jezdev, Mr. Bill against Bankster. But I'll tell you what match we're going to go to. It'll be obvious in a minute or two. We've got Spud Boy against John Boot, MC Clarkey against Spectre Dawn. That's the match we're going to. Larry against Michael. This is a guy that I don't think he showed up at all the other week. We'll see if he appears tonight. And Stubbs decided to get in tonight. He's playing Travelling TT. And then down at the bottom, we've got Chimpy against Mimi. I'll keep saying Mimic. Mimi, anyway. So it's a race to 7 on the winner's side, race to 4 on the one-loss side. And it's a handicapped event, as usual. It's a money ball handicapping system that this tournament runs with. We'll see that, whoever's getting handicaps, up on the HUD. We are, about 6 minutes away from the start. I had a break last week and I thought I would enter Friday Night 9 Ball. That was a bad choice. Totally unprepared. Haven't played competitively at 9 Ball in VP4 for goodness knows how long. But I tried that last week. And who did I have? I had Bankster in the first round, and that took an age. And was not set at all. I think I got beat 7-4 from Bankster. And then I played Bill in the one-loss side, and I was so unlucky against Bill, you wouldn't believe it. It was 3-all. In fact, I was 3-1 up in the race to 4. And Bill got it back all square, and I had the match won. I played a little billiard off a ball onto the 9 ball, knocked the 9 ball in, and I had won the match. The only problem was the cue ball squirted across into the side pocket, and that was it. Sayonara. So you got to learn a lesson from that. Don't go into a Friday Night 9 Ball cold with no table time at all. It won't get you anywhere. So I don't know whether anybody's out there. Nobody said good evening. Good evening to anybody if you're watching. Now, I don't know how long this is going to take the night. Maybe this is going to be one of these long ones. Sometimes in the last few weeks it's been going fairly rapidly. We'll see how things go. The other thing to mention is the final on Sunday. Steve said he's going to be there. and I'm sure that certainly I've got a couple of questions to ask as regards what's happening with the leagues, because we did the VP4 league test. Or well, we attempted to do the league testing. It was last week. It was, and that sort of died on its feet because there was a major problem with it not doing a coin toss for a match if no players were in the room, and it wouldn't do it. And as far as I'm aware, Steve has been away working on that. We've had absolutely no update, no information as to what's going on. So hopefully he'll maybe be able to put a little bit of clarity in that on Sunday when he's with us for the final between Albinario and Cobra. Now, of course, Albinario is going for his 2 in a row. He won the Straight Pool World Championships very convincingly against Stubb, and he's battled from the one-loss side to get a revenge match against Cobra, because Cobra sent him over to the one-loss side. So Albinario is going for 2 big tournaments in a row, and the only person between him and that title is Cobra himself. I think it should be a very competitive match with twists and turns all over the place. That's what the nature of this black ball table is, and how it affects players' control of that cue ball. Albinario's adapted to it very well. Cobra's done not too bad either. He's gone all the way to the final, still unbeaten, and the only man that can do that is Albinario. So it's the usual suspects are getting to the finals of these tournaments. Now, this black ball tournament, there was the possibility that there could have been a bit of an upset. We had Tommy going very well on the one-loss side. He fell at the sort of final hurdle. And we also had Zangetsu, a bit of a dark horse. He had a pretty good run, and he took the scalp of Stubb early in the tournament. But it is down to the 2 quality players again. The cream always floats to the top. That's just the nature of things in sport. Generally, the best players or the best teams will survive the longest. So that's down to Albinario and Cobra for Sunday. But tonight, it's Friday night 9-ball. We're about a minute and a half away from the start of the tournament. Full house, of course. And the match that we're waiting to see is the one between MC Clarkey. I'm just looking to see if he's here. Is he in a room? MC Clarkey, there he is, and Spectre Dawn, so they're both here. And we'll get into that one straight away as soon as we can. So we're just waiting on the bracket going up, so we'll be back in a minute. The rooms are up. And MC Clarkie's room is up. There's nobody in it yet. We'll get in. I think I need to change the cloth colour. And we'll put that to blue. Miscellaneous and blue. And we're just waiting on the two players come in. No lag for the break. Good evening to Cobra. You're the only person here. So, Matt has arrived. Spectre Don will be getting his alert to let him know the room is up. Well, here we go. Lagging off. We've got I'm going to get my bloody donut to work. We've got MC Clark at the bottom. Spectre Don has just won it. And the 9 ball has gone. It'll be respotted. And Spectre Don has a shot in the 1. That 2 ball goes past the 7. Now he wants to, well, he wanted to get straight in that too, but the problem was he had to follow the line that the cue ball was going, and now it's a question of whether he can pot the 2 and stun into the 9, but I don't know whether he'll be any good on it. Yeah, that was going to be awkward. And Matt trying to come up behind the 7, I think. That looks like the line, just chip the edge of the 2 and get it up high enough. Even if he runs into the 4 ball, he'll still be on the 3, but, well, I don't know if that's the shot I would have played. Excuse me, but then again, going by my performance last week in Friday night 9 ball, I don't know whether I've been able to actually get there. Well, he's done it the hard way. Now he's got to follow it up and get the job done. This is the type of stuff you have to do against players like Spectre Don when you've got a chance. You've just got to get it done. Welcome to Hair Pig. Now, because it's been a little, well, since the last stream that I did on the Black Ball tournament, I forgot where a number of my shortcut keys are. I mean, they're all still working as far as I know. I've just had an update to XSplit Broadcaster, but my memory is failing me as to where the buttons are configured. Oh, well, I mean, I'll tell you, you didn't see. It was a very poor performance. Bear in mind, I didn't get any warm up, no practice. I've not really been playing 9 ball at all for a long while. And I was so unlucky against Bill, though. Really unlucky. Having played that little billiard onto the 9 ball, potting the 9 ball, and then ended up scratching the side and gifting the match to him. If I'd scraped through that, I might have sort of warmed up. I might have found my feet. But anyway, good start for Matt. Got the job done. But it's like, I mean, it's very true, like real life sport. I mean, if you don't play something on a regular basis, you just lose the pace, you lose the touch. I was actually playing with the wrong mouse last week as well. That's an excuse. But yeah, you can't expect to hit the ground running if you haven't actually been doing what Spectre Don's doing most of the week. In and out, playing 9 ball every day for hours on end. I mean, it used to be like that. I used to be like that years ago in VP3. I used to play lots of 9 ball before I then moved on to the snooker, and I was pretty good. I was pretty decent, but that's all I would say. I was just decent. I was never good enough to win anything big. I won a fair few Friday night 9-balls back in the day, but no, if you don't get the practice in, don't expect to be a tactical genius just walking in cold to a tournament. Well, Spectre Dawn, as usual, quick to respond by the look of it. Yeah, I played it in it last week, yeah. Good evening to Semi-Pro. I mean, if I... the thing is, let's say I was retired now. Let's say I didn't have a job. If I didn't have a job, I'd be in battered 9-ball every day. And then it would be dangerous. But no. Circumstances prevent that. So, one rack all. Now, where's my button for... wait and see if we can find him. Hang on a minute.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
Well, clearly that's not the one. And the amazing thing is how the black ball tournaments affected players. I don't think I've seen a tournament that's had an effect on certain players in certain ways. We had Sylvia lost her nerve. She had enough of the tournament. She couldn't handle the pressure. Then we had Mal. Couldn't handle it and bailed out. And then we've had Matt, who similarly, once he'd played his match, that was it. He'd lost the notion for this competitive side of it in these big tournaments. And that's that's people in the wrong frame of mind when they're playing in a tournament. Most certainly, you've got to be in the right frame of mind. And I think the other problem is staying focused long enough in the longer matches, and that's why these tournaments are a test. They're a test of obviously how good you are, your ability, and everything else about it. But it's what's going on upstairs that seems to affect players a bit more than others. But Steve said it as well. As long as you're still short of the winning line, I would never ever quit. It would never ever cross my mind. I'm proof of that. Matt, who's playing in this match tonight, beat me 10-1 in the Virtual World Snooker Championships. I don't know whether it was the first one I entered or not. I can't remember, but anyway, he beat me 10-1, and I got a pasting. Did I quit? Did I hell? I went on and on and on to make sure I actually got one frame. Got rid of the bagel. My excuse that time was I had a dodgy mouse at the time. That was my excuse. Same as last week, I had the wrong mouse for Friday night 9, but always blame the tools. Always blame something else. Well, Spectre Dawn into the lead. And of course it's winner breaks. 7 ball going in. And it's going to have to be a gentleish combo. This 1 ball could squirt away at the bottom rail here if he doesn't get this square on. If he doesn't hit that square on and dead weight, the 1 ball will just die in the rail here and he'll have no shot unless he gets a cue ball running. Well, that's worked out perfect. Problem ball is the 3 ball. Now, if you get anywhere somewhere up in the middle of the table here, he can at least cut the 3. And then he'll be trying to get the cue ball across. So he's trying to get a nudge on it and get lucky, but he hasn't. He's hooked himself in the 2. So Spectre Dawn executes the jump, doesn't get the pot and doesn't get it safe, but Matt's got the same problem Spectre Dawn might have had he been able to see the 2. Now, is that going to get there? Well, he's certainly got an angle to. I think he needs a wee bit of left on this. I don't know whether, if he doesn't, he'll come straight across the table, maybe run into the 8 and the 6. He needs to squirt this cue ball a little bit to try and get the line up the table. Plus the fact he's got to pot the 3, and neither of the 2 of them are easy. Well, he's played the bank. He didn't fancy it. I mean, it was a dicey cut, and he didn't get himself that great on the 4 ball anyway. And Spectre Dawn's got a problem. He's over the top of the 9 ball, but he's dug into the cue ball, and that's a great shot to get that cue ball up as far as that. And I don't know whether Matt would have been better digging into that cue ball and playing the cut, because I think Spectre Dawn would have done that shot rather than trying the bank. So it looks as if there's going to be daylight here in this first match tonight. And it should be now. Just drop the 8 ball in, cue ball anywhere in the middle of the table up top, and he's on the 9, no problem. And of course, the thing I forgot to mention is that Matt at the top of the HUD, MC Clarkey, is getting the 8 ball as his extra money ball. Welcome to Tommy. Yeah, that 3 ball was sitting sort of there, and he was there. I would have cut that with just a bit of bottom and left English just to get it on a line. Obviously, you have to hit it at a bit of pace, but I would have hit that to get it to run. That's what I would have done. Whether I've been able to execute it is another thing, but that's what I would have done. So anyway, Matt's got what to do. Trailing by a couple of racks. Now is he trying to squeeze this in past the 5? And now he could be in trouble here if he doesn't get this right, because he can drop behind the 8 and hook himself. Well, I think he's got to stun this in so he doesn't run into anything. Oh, that was a good shot. Maybe the line could have been a wee bit better, but that's a shot you need to play just to avoid running into that 5 ball. Funny things can happen when you start doing that. Now, how does he deal with this 6 ball? Is it going to be up table and is he going to hook himself behind the 9 here? Now, is he going to try and play the 6-9 combo, because it's a very narrow line to get on that? Or is he going to try? Well, the line he's got in the 5 ball is not great. So he's trying to get the line. He's gone a bit too far. Well, the safety shot is on. You can cut the 6 to the rail, get it to drop onto the top rail and run for cover and try and get down by the 7. That's the shot I'd be going for. With a bit of right English, get the cut, get it to run there, cue ball around the corner and down to the 7 ball. That's the line I'd be going for. I think he needed to get it thinner than that. But that's the general idea. Now that's just a bit too heavy because Spectre Dawn obviously can jump it, but he had the right idea. It needed a wee bit thinner though on the 6 ball to stop bringing it out as far. I've seen a little bit of a pause there. Hazard was asking that earlier on. This is maybe something Steve's doing because I just seen that little bit of a pause. He said when he was watching the cue ball run, he was getting the odd sort of little stutter. Steve might be mucking about with bug testing or bug finding or whatever it is he does with a bit of software that he sometimes puts into VP4, and it can cause little sort of frame rate issues. Well, it's not looking good for Matt now. He's going to be 4-1 down. Oh, everybody should get into Cowboy. That's the game to play. Because you're never beating at Cowboy until the caroms are over. Doesn't matter how far behind you are. You've always got a chance in that game. So 4 racks to 1 to Spectre Dawn. And he must have potted the 9 ball again there. He's potted the 9 and it's been respotted. Yeah, we haven't done the 10 ball world, not the 10 ball, the Cowboy World Championships we did was in the bloody 9-foot table. That's not a proper test. Got to be the 10-footer. And of course alternate as well. Oh, where's the cue ball going? I don't know where John Virgo is. We'll see if we can find him.
Trouble with...
Where's the cue ball going?
Yeah, too late.
Brain is gone.
What a flaw in black ball. That's a new one. You're going to have to let us know what that is. Oh, that's a rarity, that. That is actually something to do with a previous bug that was in the black ball table that we found in testing. If you remember one of the matches we were watching on the live stream, Steve thought a ball might have fallen through the table, fallen through the pocket. Yeah, that's probably it's probably connected to the same bug. When we started testing the black ball table years ago in VP4, you had instances where the ball was going through the pocket and you would hear it hitting the floor. Not just the side pocket, it was happening in the corner pocket as well, I think, from time to time. And he eventually sort of ironed that out, but there must be some sort of bug still there for him to work on. Yeah, you hear it hitting the floor, yeah. It was only, I think I can't remember whether it happened in any of the 9-ball tables. I think it was most prevalent in the black ball table. It kept happening. It happened on a regular basis early on until he sort of managed to iron most of the problems out. Well, Stubbs first through. That was a quick one. What, 21 minutes Stubb has raced through his first match, 7 racks to 1 against Travelling TT. He won't get it as easy as that in the rest of the tournament, I can guarantee him that. Oh, what's happened here? MC Clarkie's had a mouse fart. That's a rarity as well. Stubb had that. Stubb's got a video in his YouTube channel showing that bug, where he had 2 balls jammed in the pocket, and you could bash them as hard as you want. They wouldn't come out and they wouldn't go in. But again, these are all very rare bugs. Unless you can, I mean, look at how many matches we've seen in the Black Ball World Championships, and we've seen enough balls rolled into the side pockets. But I don't really think we've seen anything where it was so obvious that you heard the ball falling through the pocket and it declared a foul or anything like that. I don't think we've had that actually happen in the event that it was noticeable. And certainly nobody's come out of a match saying they had something like that happen. But the thing is that, you know, bugs like that in the black ball table will always remain there for the main reason that nobody's playing black ball. And all the guys have been doing during this tournament is getting black ball practice. Well, some of them have. And that's probably the most that's been played on this black ball table in the whole, how many years have we now been online with VP for? 10 years, near enough, 9 years. And that is the most serious play that the black ball table's had since the game went live online. Because nobody else is playing it often enough and long enough. The only person that used to play it was RTC UK, who's nowhere to be seen. He used to play it on a very regular basis. But I believe he doesn't have a computer now. He's computerless, if that's a word. Well, it's looking grim now for Matt. 6-1 down. Spectre Don has done him one favour, I think. He's come up dry, but he's left him no shot. Now again, if he banks this towards the 8 and the 3, he can get this cue ball down towards... I don't know whether he wants to try stunning down or whether he tries to thin it and cut it back towards the 8 and 3 and run the cue ball. Yes, he hasn't hit it. He's caught the knuckle. Now, has he got the cover? I think he has. Now, this is where you need to get lucky. But he hasn't. Now, does the 3 ball... Now, this is a problem. I think he's going to have to ride a lot of luck here to run this into the 7 ball. I don't know whether he can hit that point, but if he doesn't get the right hit off this, and I don't think he can get the right hit off this. He's playing it with left English to try and get a brush off the left side of the 7, but the angle was no good. Now, this guy, what's his name? What's the name of the guy that keeps getting muted and kicked? That guy, Risk, keeps kicking him. What do you call him again? Snakes? I think he's either changed his name again or he's got another profile. And we were playing Cowboy on my day off early in the morning, and was it Tuesday this week? Wednesday, sorry. And I can't remember his name. It wasn't Marcellus. It was something Us. I can't remember. It began with the name. And he comes into the room and he just starts. He's asking for the link to Discord. How do I get Discord? So I told him. And then he's wanting an invite to Discord. And I thought, and then he just kept prattling on. Couldn't get the bastard out of the room. I mean, not that he was being abusive or anything. He's just, I don't know what he's on. He's on some kind of chemical stimulant or something. Well, this looks like the coup de grace for Matt. And the result through, Mr. Bill has gone through against Baxter, 7 racks to 4. I can't remember he said. It was something. It was a bit like Marcellus, but it wasn't Marcellus. I think it ended in Us. I just can't remember the guy's name, but you don't need to remember his name. You just need to look at the chat or have him enter your room, and you'll soon recognise him. Well, this match is over. And after such a good, it seems a long time ago, but it was a good start for Matt. He won the first rack and that was it. Never had a sniff since. So, Spectre Dawn through by 7 racks to 1. Right, so we've had a couple of results through. Let's have a quick look and see how this shapes up. We've got Houdini. I think he's 3 racks all with DJ Redo. Jose is 4 racks to 3 up against Jez Dev. Bill has gone through, of course. Spud Boy is 5-3 up against John Boo. Spectre Dawn has gone through. And Spectre Dawn is waiting on the winner. Oh, well, Larry's just gone through. He's now going to meet Spectre Dawn. And, of course, that's the match I'm going to next. We've got Stubb through, and he's waiting on the winner of Champion Mimi. Well, that's an interesting one, because according to that, it's 5 racks all, and Mimi is getting about the 6 and out. Let's have a quick look at that. Well, Chimpy's just gone 6-5 up. But this 6 and out, always very dangerous. And Mimi's a 1694 player. Looks, well, there's how you get a bit of luck. And this is why it's dangerous, because look at that 6 ball. I mean, the 6 ball is near the pocket. Now, Chimpy needs to hit the 1. He's certainly done that. And he's nudged the 6 out the way. I don't know whether there's any of that 2-ball showing. Well, there's just an edge. A cigarette paper's edge of this 2-ball. I mean, this could scratch if you get it far too thin. This could just drop straight into the corner pocket. Well, the good thing about that shot is that Mimi missed the 2 and didn't slam it around the table and open up the 3. And Chimpy's got ball in hand for the angle to try and get lucky here. Well, I think he can cut that. No, maybe not. Again, what do I know? Well, this is a scratch in the side every day of the week. But when you can have a slam like that and come out smelling the roses. Well, again, a player at 1694. I don't know whether some players at a 1600 odd rating, whether they just go into a match thinking I've got absolutely no chance, and then they end up don't really trying. You know, it's funny how ratings affect people, and obviously they're getting a very generous handicap, and they've managed to stay in the match. So clearly Chimpy's been giving them some sort of chance to pop one of the money balls. And if Mimi keeps getting a run of the ball like this, we're now at the business end of the match as far as money balls are concerned. It's dangerous here for Chimpy. And again, just enough of the 4-ball covered. Oh, where's this going? Oh, that's unlucky. I thought the 4 was going to go there. So Chimpy's now got his chance to seal the deal here and get this done and get it out of the way. Well, I quite agree with you here, Pig. I mean, I don't. In some respects, for these guys, when they are getting a handicap, I think they think the best solution is just to bang at balls and hope. It's never going to make them a better player, but they seem to think that's the solution. Well, this is a danger when you're now at this stage of the match, because Chimpy's now having to kick and hope here. Oh, and he's played it well. And that guy, Michael, I spoke about him last week. Well, I wasn't in last week. Was it last week's tournament he was in, or was it one before? But this is another one where he's not showed up. So I don't know why he's signing up to these things and then not turning up. He's just wasting his $3. Well, now, this is where Mimi just gives us a bash and hopes. It's a good bank, this 7-ball. But this to take the match all the way. And that looks good. And that's the danger of a 6 and out handicap. And now Chimpy's biting his nails and Hazard is sending me PMs again. I don't know why. Somebody tell him he needs to come into the stream. Well, I mean, what a bit about Friday Night Nine Ball starting at 7 o'clock does he not understand? Then, I mean, what's the point in signing up in the first place? Well, there you go. The Moneyball handicapping has done the trick there. Mimi goes through 7 racks to 6, so that's an upset, but that's what 6 and out can give you if you get lucky. And Spud Boy has gone through against John Boo by 7 racks to 3. So Chimpy is now on the one loss side alongside MC Clarkey. Let's have another look here and see how things are going. Right, well, we'll go into the match between Spectre Don and Larry. It's now 1 rack all. And Larry's getting the 7 ball. Now, how generous is that? Well, again, this is where the system is flawed. This is something Steve has never fixed. I don't think he'll ever get round to doing it, but you know, you've got Larry on 2,182 in rating points, and Spectre Dawn at 2,323, and Larry's getting the 7 ball. Spectre Dawn off and running again. Now he's got to miss that 6 ball, and that's again taking evasive action, getting that little draw into the cue ball to stop it taking its natural path. Quick reminder as well to anybody who's interested in who lost. Aye, well, he'll have been Larry will have been losing to handicap players maybe the last few weeks. Aye, quick reminder: it's the Champions League final tomorrow night. I hope Liverpool win it against Real Madrid in Paris. Well, I'll tell you something: Paris will be jumping tonight. I can guarantee that. Liverpool's got like 20,000 tickets, and probably another 60 or 70,000 are all traipsing round about the Paris streets tonight, as well as all the Spaniards that have invaded the city. That'll be some place to spend a weekend. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's not going to be one of these 90-minute things and then extra time and penalties again. I don't think I could stand another one of those boring matches. I don't think it will be with Liverpool playing. I think there'll be goals. I'm hoping there'll be goals, but I'm pretty certain there should be goals in this one. So Spectre Dawn, again getting himself back into the lead. And of course, an easy 5-9 combo to come up, because he's just going to drop the 3 in, roll the 4 in, and 5-9 into the side. You can't miss it. You cannot miss a 5-9 combo like that. That would be a cardinal sin. But that's the way it's going to be. Well, where's the cue ball going? Oh, I'm sure his heart missed a beat there. So I must be a sucker. I've had Sniper Elite. I had the very first Sniper Elite that came out. I didn't get the sort of updated version that came out, and then Sniper Elite 3, Sniper Elite 4, and I got Sniper Elite 5 the other day. And I'm only up to the third of 10 campaigns, and the one that I did this afternoon took me 2.5 hours. Good God. I started it last night, but I was getting butchered at the same point every time. So I thought today when I start this thing, I thought I'll restart this mission. And I was 2.5 hours at the mission to eventually get it done. It was. I think I don't know whether I've had the previous versions on an easier setting, but I've got this just as the game is set on normal, and the AI. There are bloody hundreds of them swarming all around. You're trying to hide in the grass, and although they can't see in the grass, there's that many of them swarming around it. Sooner or later, one of them's going to run over the top of you, and then the next thing you know, you're dead. But the missions are taking an awful lot longer than I can remember. And of course, I thought I'll try the multiplayer yesterday, and I thought, right, well, I'm going to employ the tried and tested technique. I just spawned, and the first thing I did was camp. I thought, I ain't moving, and I got 2 kills, and then next thing you know, I sniped a guy, and of course, wherever he spawned, I don't know where he spawned, but I could hear the footsteps come. Next thing I know, bang, he's right behind me. Bastard. Has Steve ever mentioned the possibility of adding an option in the game to change the colour of the table itself separate from the felt? It would be nice to give it a diamond or predator look. Well, I don't think it's that difficult for Steve to actually change. See this table you're looking at just now? This half times table, if you look at the very earliest Virtual Pool 4 video I did on my YouTube channel, if you go right back and look for it, you will see that, first of all, this isn't the half times room, this is the beach house. But in the half times room, we had a horrible carpet, which I moaned and moaned and moaned and moaned about. I said, it's giving me migraines, this carpet. And Steve was giving the excuse, well, and of course, if you do see some of the streams of pool tournaments in the States, some of the carpets in some of these pool halls in the States are bloody ugly. I mean, absolutely horrible. The worst type of carpet design you could ever have, and they've got them in loads of pool rooms in the States. Well, the carpet we had in half times was horrible. So I moaned at him and moaned at him, and I kept moaning at him. And I think it was Andy. I think it was DJ Vivid that got the image of the carpet from, I can't. What's the name of bloody Larry will know. Earl the Pearl's pool hall that he's in Brooklyn, I think it is. Anyway, the carpet in half times has been stolen from that pool hall. If you ever see a live stream from that pool hall in, is it New Jersey maybe? I can't remember. You will see that the carpet is the same as the carpet in half times. But that's by the by. The table that you see in the original videos of when I first started posting videos from the testing of EP4, you'll see that the table colour was different. The table colour was more a piney colour. The panels, the wood panels down the rails, they were a more piney colour. And Steve wanted to, I think nobody complained about the colour of the table. Steve himself just decided he wanted to look a wee bit more maybe bring up the grain a bit more, and he made it a little bit redder looking. So it didn't take him long to do it. So I don't think it's a major thing. But in terms of allowing you to change the table, there was one guy very early on in VP4, and I'm not sure whether it's one of the guys that ended up doing Shooter's Pool, whether it was one of those two brothers, but some of you who are watching might remember that he was posting some videos, and I don't know whether these videos are still on YouTube because I can't remember what the name of the guy was, and I can't remember the channel. It might not even exist anymore, but he had modded Virtual Pool 4. He had modded everything. He had modded the balls, he modded the tables, he'd modded the cloths, I think, and they look brilliant, so they did. So you can actually mod VP4 yourself if you have the technology and you know what you're doing. But as for Steve doing that, I think it'll be a big waiting list waiting on that happening. I've been asking for a black cue for 20 years and I've still not got it. Yeah, Steve did change the colour of the table, at the hard times table. He did that, or unless the guy that was still working for him was there and they asked him to do it. Anyway, I've been ranting on. Where we are at the moment is Spectre Dawn's 4-1 up. Larry having to get to the 7 ball, and he just need to drop this 6 ball in. Now, again, the line that he's got in this 6 ball, if you cut that in and you try to check it with right English, you might still squirt away. So he's decided just to drop it down, and he has to get it as straight as he can. That'll do it. And Jez Deb has taken out Jose 7 racks to 4. I mean, what I also said to Steve was, and again, this is another thing that bugs me, that if you change a table, say this table that we've got here, this is a hard times table, but in the beach house, if you change the cloth colour on the table, the cloth colour isn't remembered by table. That's what always has bugged me about VP4. So by that I mean is that if you're playing 9 ball in this room, it doesn't matter what room you're in, but let's say you're playing 9 ball in this room, and you're playing it on this table with a blue cloth, right? What VP4 does is it just remembers the cloth you've chosen. It doesn't remember the table you've chosen and the cloth. So if I then quit playing 9 ball in this room and I decided to change it to snooker, as soon as I bring the snooker table up, the snooker table hasn't got its default cloth. The snooker table has got the same blue cloth. So you've then got to go in to the settings and change it. And this is what bugs me. It can't be that difficult to get BP4 to not only remember what table you've chosen, but remember what colour the cloth you had for that table. So you don't play snooker on a blue cloth table, but you have to change it to a green cloth table if you've been on a 9 ball table or a black ball table with blue cloth, and you then just change the game. It's just so annoying, and it can't be that difficult to put that right. I mean, these are niggly little things that bug me about the game. And Chimpy has comfortably gone through his match on the 1 loss side against Travelling TT. Aye, Steinway, that's the one here, Pig, that's the one. Is Queens a district in New York? I knew it was New York or New Jersey or somewhere like that. But anyway, the carpet that's in Hard Times room is copied from Steinway Billiards, where Hair Pig says it is. But that is a far better carpet than what was in the original Hard Times room. It was absolutely horrible. Well, again, Larry's the one with what to do, but he needs to be getting table time, and he's got a chance of a quick rack here. I don't know whether he can get to this 1 ball. He's going to try the billiard off the 1. He can't get to the 1 to cut it, but he can certainly play the billiard. Catch the edge of the 1, drop it onto that 7, and he's got it too thin. Now he needs to get lucky, and he has done. Well, there's results coming through. Bankster has taken out John Boo 4 racks to 1. And now Larry gets his reward. And now he's got to see himself through to this 7 ball to stay in the match, really. Now, does the 2 pass the 4? No, it doesn't. So he's immediately got work to do to get good in this 2 ball. He's trying to run through to the 6 ball here. Now he's the wrong side of the 2. He would have much preferred to run right into that 6 ball, and that way he could have just potted the 2 and dropped through for the 3. Problem now is he's going the other way, and he's got to avoid traffic as well. This isn't easy, and he's gone straight into the 7, and he can't squeeze the 3. I've got the hiccups now. I've had a drink of water now. I've got the hiccups again. He can't squeeze the 3 past the 8 and lock it up. He's got no room. But he certainly could cut this 3 and again run for cover up and down the table. But he's gone all out for the pot. Well, that's a good recovery shot. Now he has to avoid. Well, he doesn't really have to avoid. If he ran into the 8 ball, it wouldn't do him any harm. It'll hold him on the 5. And now he's got to dig into the cue ball to get it back off this 5. Not scratching the right side pocket, but just to get a line on this 6 ball. Anything but dead straight. Needs to bounce a wee bit. That's perfect. So Larry keeping his hopes alive in this match. Back to within 2. Now he needs a break and a run here to the 7 ball. Another result through. Houdini has beaten DJ Redo 7-4. And I don't think Larry's... Oh, there's a 2 ball finally dropping in, and he's on the 1. And again, does he want to cut this 1 and just get himself around the angles here? Because the problem with that is this 9 ball comes into play. There's traffic in the way here of getting a sight on this 3 ball. He's trying to come back this way, and again he's got to watch how well he comes off this 1 ball. Now he's hoping to get into the gap, and he's just got there. And again, now I think you have to err in safety here and actually make sure you get up the table. Well, that wasn't it. He's going to have to bail out with the jump stick, but I think he'd have been better hitting that harder just to get up the table. He took a big risk there. Now, did you see that pause there as the ball went into the pocket? I think Steve's got some software running here. We saw that earlier in the match. That ball going into the pocket there, because of this this pocket bug that Cobra's been talking about. I think Steve's got something running that might be affecting this. I'll need to ask him that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Sunday. And Stubb has had 2 comfortable victories to start with, both 7 racks to 1. He's just beaten Mimi 7 racks to 1. And meanwhile, Larry is back to within 1. Why Stubb sending me PMs as well? Did Hazard come into the stream? I haven't seen him. I don't know why he was sending me a PM. But Hazard sent me a PM earlier on talking about this stutter in the cue ball. I don't know whether it's so much as that as the 2 times that I've seen it, it's a ball going into a pocket. There's been a bit of a delay. I think we need to blame Steve for this. I think he's He's doing something in the background with EP4 at the moment. Well, Spectre Dawn's going to have to pull off a shot here. That was nowhere near easy. And Larry has got the bank. Got enough room to get the bank. Or is he? He's playing the cut. He's overdone it. Oh, now. Well, I think Spectre Dawn will just take his medicine here. Drop this 3-ball in and play the bank on the 4-ball unless he thinks he can cut that. I don't think he can cut that. I don't think he can get to that 4-ball. So if he just dropped this in dead weight and finished a bit there, he could play the bank. I mean, no, he's going up and down. Can he get that and get it legally? Or is he just trying to lock it up? He'd have been better off just dropping that 3 in and getting to about there and playing the bank. But he's got Larry locked up, but this 4-ball, well, it's not right over the side pocket, but Larry's bound to hit it, I would think. He needs a bit of luck, though. Yeah. And Larry's picked a line, kicked it in. That was always the danger of where the 4-ball finished anywhere, but, you know, near the side pocket on a good line. And Larry's picked a line perfect. And again, an easy 7-ball to square the match. And once again, Larry certainly had no luck this time. I think he's came up dry. Yeah. And, well, straight in 1-ball, but hampered over the 8-ball. Just trying to come back with the 2 into the same pocket. Well, this looks like a firmish stun. Just to get the cue ball out to a decent line in the 3. Now the problem is the 9-ball. The 9-ball is in the path of the cue ball to get back out, and he's checking the cue ball, and that's a good shot. He put left English on it there so that when the cue ball goes to the rail, it straightens it up rather than the cue ball going its natural path, which would have been chipping at the 9-ball. Yeah, all he was trying to do was just get out into the open to be able to see the next ball. And this looks... Well, this is going to be the toughest shot here. Just getting the cue ball back across again without scratching. Nicely controlled. Now again, the golden rule is, I mean, even if he stuns the cue ball dead where the 7-ball is, that's a perfect angle to cut this 8-ball and come down for the 9. He doesn't want to go through to a straightish line. Well, Larry came up dry, Spectre Dawn done the rest. On the hill. And the break. And I think Spectre Don's caught the disease, unless this 3-ball, well, I thought it was going to go in there, but it caught up in the 8. And Larry's on the one that's going to have to be a 2-4 combo. Now he really needs to get right down as far as he can. And it could have been down another 3 or 4 inches there to get as good a line as he could. The cue ball's just squirted away. Oh, he's not got the cover. He was just trying to sneak it in behind that 6 ball, but he just got a nudge on it to open it up. And Spectre Don, again, he's got a problem. It's not cutting the 2 ball that's the problem. It's the line that the cue ball's taken off the 2. And again, he's putting a bit of right on it just to straighten the cue ball off the rail, rather than letting the cue ball again take its natural path, which would be towards the 7. But that will do. Now, it doesn't matter if he hits the 9, as long as he hits it out the way. Oh, he's hung the 3, and Larry's got a lifeline. Well, get the 3 ball, get out for the 5. That's not the problem. The problem's getting from the 5 to the 6. And then getting back up for the 7. So this rack isn't over yet. And Larry has got a similar problem here. The line in the cue ball is not great. And he's trying to draw it back. Now it needs to slow up. Oh, again. Dicing with death. Well, there's no excuse here. The angle's perfect to get up the table. And that will do. So we're going all the way. And Larry with the break. Well, Larry's got his old dry break disease again, has he? Or he's got a ball? Or is the cue ball still spinning? Oh, it's the 5 that's spinning. He's definitely dry. I didn't hear anything go down. Just when you need a ball and a shot, he gets nothing again. Perfect bank to start Spectre Don off. Problem ball is how does he get to the 4? Well, the answer to that would be he isn't. I mean, he'll be lucky he can see any of the 4 ball when he pots this 3. And he's gone pretty much straight on the 3. And well, it's going to be tough, whatever he does. He's thinking about running for cover here. He's trying to get down behind the 6 and 8, I think. Needs to get this thin. You can't hit this too thick, because the cue ball, the 3 ball will just spin away while he's caught the middle pocket. And Larry's got the same problem here. He can pot the 3, no problem. He's got an angle. He needs to let this cue ball run with a lot of pace, I think. I think he's got a perfect shot here to get the spin into the cue ball and get it running. And ideally he wants to find a line that gets him down to here to kick this, and hopefully he gets lucky. He needs lots of pace in this. I don't know whether that's enough. Is he getting lucky? No, he isn't. But he should have spectred on in trouble. I think that cue ball needed to run a lot faster. That stops the jump shot. Now, does it stop him getting to the long rail? No, it doesn't. And Mr. Bill has gone through against Spud Boy, 7 racks to 3. Well, Larry, if he can pull off a shot here, he's got a 5-7 combo for the match. Is he going to the other pocket? Is he going to the right corner? Looks like it. Oh, well, he never got the cue ball to the 5, and he's left spectred on a shot here. Well, certainly to pot the 4. Well, that's a pretty damn good shot to get there. And he's a wee bit of right just to get this cue ball tracking the line across to see the 6. And this match is over. Larry had his chance. Wasn't an easy start to Larry's visit. That 4 ball was really tough in either pocket. And Jose has gone through against DJ Reedy on the 1-loss side, 4-2. And that's where Larry's heading in a minute. So, spectred on, match is on again. Meaning business. He beats Larry by 7 racks to 6. Now, how are we doing here? We've got Houdini in round 2 against Jezdev. Jezdev getting the 6 ball. Jezdev's 4-1 up. Bill has gone through to round 3. He's waiting on the winner of that match. Spectredon, of course, having gone through against Larry, is now about to play Stub. So, no prizes for guessing, but that's the match we're going into. If we can get in. And Stubbs in waiting. Eager to get underway. Still banging at balls. That's me now into my reserve bottle of water. That's that one gone. Spectredon keeping them waiting. Maybe he's taking a bathroom break or a comfort break, as they call it. I think this will be a scratch match between Spectredon and Stubb. Both of them over 2,300. So, here we go for the lag. Spectre on at the bottom of the screen. Stubbs had a good lag. Spectre Dawn's not quite there. So Stubb wins the lag. And I think he's came up dry. He certainly has. And Stubb having a blast, and he gets lucky. You can't beat the old hit and hope. Well, the way these balls are sitting, if Spectre Dawn doesn't get a hit and doesn't get it safe, you would think Stubb should be out with ball in hand. Now, there that pause right in the middle of the jump shot there. Well, it's Spectre Dawn at the table. Now, he's either going to have to bump the 2 into the rail near the 3 and hopefully kick it in, or cut it directly onto it like that. That was perfect. How's his luck though? Not too good, I don't think. Easy enough to hit it. Now, does he want to use the rail to hit it, or does he want to hit it in the thin side? Oh, double kiss. And Stubb will go for the kick. Well, it could have been better, but it's better than nothing. I can't remember. I was in bed long before it finished. Good evening to Slim. Well, I better send a text to his ad. Right, I've sent a text to his ad because he was asking me earlier on what this. He said he was telling me the a slight problem with EP4 with a kind of stutter, and I've got it, and I think Steve's doing some bug tracking, and that's what's causing it. Or it might just be the server coming from the States to the UK. I don't know, but it's certainly not just. It's not just happening to Hazard. It's happening to me. It's happened 2 or 3 times tonight so far watching these matches. Well, Stubb with a 2-0 lead. Yeah, if everybody's seen it, that means Steve's up to no good. Steve's messing about in the background. Inspector Don has now got his chance to get off the mark. Now he can just jack up or just do a firm stun. He's went for the firm stun, needs to get the cue ball running. Now again he can come right off this 4 ball and avoid a 7 and 8. Well, as predicted, it was going to be a scratch match. The two of these players evenly matched as far as the ratings go. Inspector Don has the break, trailing by 2 racks to 1. Well, nothing looks as if it's heading near a pocket. But Stubb has no shot. Probably the push out here, I would think. I don't think he'll try and kick this. Is he going to try and kick it off the long rail? Oh, well, there you go. Again, gives it a slam. The ball billiards in off the 4, but he's now hooked on the 2. Cue ball still spinning. I've seen how many times you see a ball spinning like this. It's happening too frequently in VP4 now since Steve messed about with the physics. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. As you're trying to jump. Cue ball's gone. I was a bit late again there, but I still can't remember the button combination. Let me try this one.
Where's the cue ball going?
Yeah, it's that one, but I can never remember quick enough to do it. And Bankster has taken Larry out by 4 racks to 0. And Spudboy has taken MC Clarkey out 4 racks to 0. So this handicap is working tonight for these guys. And that's 2 of the big guns gone from the 1 loss side. But it just means all the more danger for any of these 2 guys who end up in the 1 loss side. Again, this just needs to get into this cue ball to get up and good on the 7. And that's perfect. Anything but straight though. And that isn't it. He's going to have to punch this with a bit of right English to try and get the cue ball squirting out. And he's just trying to draw it to play it long. Well, he'll take that. I don't think he could end up much better than that from the angle he had, which was little or nothing. And now we're all square. Mr. Bill's in the room watching the match. He's not on the stream. Well, Stubb hasn't got lucky. Spectadon can see enough of the one to pot it. 3 ball is tight past the 8 ball. A closer look at that. I mean, the 3 ball does go if you were sitting where the 4 ball is. And he's trying to get as close to the 4 as he can. Well, it's all about the pot and the 3 and getting this cue ball just into the middle of the table somewhere to be able to see the 4. I don't know what it is you're asking. You were asking for Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill is watching this match. He's in the room watching the match. Well, from 2-0 down, Spectadon is going to get himself into the lead here. And Mr. Bill has now left the room. Well, that was a softer break. Still no joy though. It's another dry one. And Stubb all out for the cut. Played it well. And he's going to have to respond here. But his problem will be the 4 ball. Again, you have to get good in the 4 ball if you're going to try the 4-9 combo. Because it doesn't go into any of those 2 pockets. And that is not quite perfect, but it'll give him a good shot at it. So this to quickly square the match. And he's missed it. It wasn't dead easy. He needed to get straighter on it. But he's again got lucky. He's left Spectadon no shot. And Jose has gone through in a final rack decider against Mimi. 4 racks to 3. I think Stubbs missed the 4 there. I don't think he hit it. Oh, he did. He must have. He must have just scratched the paint off the 4 ball. What am I missing in the chat here? Oh yeah, that was a thing that. And again, it was another request from somebody I'll not name, but the only thing he hasn't done is he hasn't made the dot bigger. It could do have been 2 pixels bigger than that for my eyes. She's very slight angle to stun out. We are going to be all tied up again here. Well, it needs somebody to get on a bit of a run here, but these dry breaks aren't helping. And it's yet another one. Now, I think Spectre Dawn can see enough of the one. He certainly can. But the major problem is the 7 ball. That's the one that's going to cause problems in this rack. Oh, there we go. It's just gone 8:30 and the yawning started. We're now on the slippery slope, folks. The brain is beginning to go. I had a great sleep last night, though. The alarm got me up. I'm usually wakened at 2:30 in the morning or something, looking at the clock. But the alarm got me up this morning. Right, so how is he going to deal with this 7 ball? I don't know whether he can get enough into this cue ball to chip the 9. I don't know whether the line is good to pot the 6 and try and get the cue ball on the line. Well, he's done it. He just managed to do it. It was difficult to read whether he could actually get a hit on it, but he got it pretty perfect. So Spectre Dawn isn't given an inch here. The stub came up dry. Spectre Dawn done the rest. Yeah, you've guessed it, folks. Another dry break. Oh, that was almost one of them.
Trouble?
Where's the cue ball going?
That one. I keep hitting the wrong button. I keep hitting that one instead.
The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
That's Edward the Longshanks. Patrick McGoohan in Braveheart. Just for anybody who doesn't know. Patrick McGoohan, who was in about maybe 5 or 6 episodes of Columbo as the baddie, as the murderer. Now, I was just trying to get there to see if that 3 ball goes, and obviously it does. Spectre Dawn has a chance to get daylight here, and he's looking good for it. The only problem will be the 8 ball. It doesn't go past the 9, so he's got to get down low in the 8 ball. He's got loads of room to get there, but he needs to get that good angle off the 7. Yeah. Patrick McGoohan, he must have died about, it must be about 10 years ago now. Maybe more than that. Yeah, Ray Liotta, according to what they said, he died in his sleep. That's the best way to go. Set your alarm for the next day and then you never hear it again. You couldn't ask for a better way to go. Well, they say he died in his sleep. What they didn't say is there was a 17-year-old lassie in the bed with him, but that's maybe they're keeping that quiet. So Spectre Dawn has got the lead now with a couple of racks to spare. And that's another softish break again from Spectre Dawn. This time he's got the 6 ball. And that one that I think has just nailed itself to that short rail. I think that is pretty much frozen. It isn't quite, but it needs a good chip on the edge of that one for that to hold a line that will take it to the pocket. And look at where the 2 ball is. It's going nowhere unless he can come down the right hand side with a bit of spin. He's looking for a hit. He's got a hit. And what a cut in the 1 ball though. I mean, the 1 ball itself was a cracking shot. And Stubb now going to have a blast. The cannons are out. Where's the 2 ball going? And this time he's not got so lucky. Now, does Spectre Dawn try and get to this left rail? Or does he just... I mean, the angle he's got in the 2 is no good. Now, he could run the 2 ball with left English and try and straighten off the rail and just come out. He's trying to just get it dead weight. He's got there. And the angle now, the only thing that will cause a problem here is that 8 ball. If he finishes the top side of the 8. Well, he has done, but he's played it well. And the angle is good in the 4 ball to stun it firm. Well, he's trying to run through in the short side. I thought he'd have stunned across, but he had a good enough line to hold it. That'll do. Well, Stubbs now up against it. Backs to the wall. And no miss. That's if he gets a shot, that is, because Spectre Dawn will be on the hill with the break. Let's see if he does this softish break again. It worked the last time. It didn't work earlier on. Oh, he's got a ball. 1 ball is gone. 2 balls just bounced into play. 3 ball is a problem. Well, he's trying to leave the bedhead cut, and he's got it. Now, he needs to go 2 rails here, I think. I don't think he's got much of an option. I think he's got to spin this. He's got to get the cut and get enough spin in the cue ball to come around and out. But the problem is, going that line, he's going to have no shot in the 4. And this time it hasn't worked out. I mean, it was nigh impossible to get good on that 4 ball. Now, does Stubb go for the bank? It's a good line for the bank. Played it well, absolutely flush to keep his hopes alive. I think he's gone a bit straight in this 6. Yep, absolutely plumb straight. Should be able to just roll through. I think he's overhit that, has he? No. Well, he's nailed to the 8, so he can only run for cover. Well, he hasn't really run far enough. I think I'd have been trying to get a lot further up the table than that. Spectadon's going for the cut. It's off the rail. In fact, it's further off the rail than that one ball he cut earlier on. Yeah, in it goes. And that was a poor safety from Stubb. I mean, that cue ball was left there. That cue ball should have been up there. And he wouldn't have had that shot. No, Stubb, that wasn't lucky. It wasn't lucky, Stubb. It was a poor safety. See, he doesn't see things that way, Stubb. And Spectadon goes through. So the poor safety shot from Stubb gave the match away there. But Spectadon still had to pot that 8 ball. And you've got to keep things really, really tight. And Stubbs learning the hard way. Now, what the hell's this in the lobby? Who the hell's this? Musta. Don't tell me this is another profile, is it? Anyway. Stubbs now moved over to the one loss side. Oh, wrong thing. I don't know why I started pasting that. Because I hit the wrong bloody button, that's why. Right, where have we got to here? We've got Jose playing Bankster on the one loss side. It's 2 racks all. We've got Stubb waiting. Well, in fact, we've got Spudboy waiting the result from Chimpy and Houdini. Meanwhile, we've got Spectadon waiting on the winner of Jez Dev and Mr. Bill. Bill's 3-1 up. I think what we'll do is we'll go into the Jose match. If we can get in. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Right, I need to get the reserve bottle open. Oh, too late. Too late.
Where's the cue ball going?
I'll get it in time at some point. And Mushtar has been kicked for 1 hour because spamming. And Chimpy goes through against Houdini, 4 racks to 1. If only that was Guinness. Now, is there enough angle there? No, there isn't. It's just slightly the wrong side. Now, he could just roll through and leave the cut. That'd be the Spectadon way of doing it. Just roll through to the jaw. He's trying to draw to get into the gap. Well, he's got there. Now, the angle he's got in this 4, he can either try and drop really perfectly behind the 5 or try and get a nudge. And he's gone the wrong side. He needed to get that cue ball spinning this way. Now, that 5 ball, well, that's perfect. Just caught the feather edge of it. Full snooker on the 5. Shouldn't be a difficult hit, but again, you just need to hit and hope. Yeah, Stubb. You know, he could probably get away with that against most other people. The shot that he played on that 8 ball, but when you're playing somebody like Spectre Dawn, you've got to get the distance in that shot. He never hit that at all. To get that cue ball should have been 8 feet away from that 8 ball, and he would have had no shot on it. There was no way that Spectre Dawn was potting that if that cue ball was well away from it. But Stubb will never learn. Well, this needs a bounce. Well, I think I'd be stunning this in to try and miss the 9 ball. Well, he's tried to hold it. He's done not too bad. So we're going all the way. 3 racks all. Jose to break. And I think whatever room or match we go into, we're bringing dry breaks with us. We're bringing the disease into this room. Jose comes up dry. And Bankster doesn't really have a shot. I don't know what he's trying here. Well, that'll probably work as good as anything. Now, Jose doesn't want to run into the 6 ball. That's the one thing he doesn't want to do. And he's run into the 6. He went all out, I think, to try and cut that 1 ball. Now he's left it on. 2 ball goes past the 6, no problem, up table. And the only thing to avoid here is hooking yourself behind the 3. Well, Bankster could have done with letting it roll a wee bit further. Now, this is a scratch match as well, no handicap. Again, that's now rolled into sort of no man's land. Excuse me. Well, Jose, here's your chance to win the match. And he hasn't cut it enough. And Bankster with a thin cut. Now, this could end up going pear-shaped here if he gets the wrong hit on this 4 or 5 ball. He might be. I think he's hitting this thin enough. He's going to come in the gap. Yes, he is. Now he needs to get lucky. Needs a bit of a roll, and that will do. What is it? Me? Is it me that brings the dry breaks now? Oh, is it my fault? That needs to bounce as well. Well, again, the golden rule here is don't hook yourself behind the 9. And he's making sure. And again, with this shot, don't run towards the 8 ball. Go to the short side, which is dangerous, or go to this side, but don't run towards the 8. And that's perfect, because he's now got a perfect little angle on this 8 ball. Now he can stun up the table off this 8. He doesn't need to spin anything, he just needs to stun it. Now he's spinning it, and it needs to run now. That's almost there. So this for the match. And in it goes. So Bankster marches on. Jose needs to try another time. I know how you feel, Jose. Right, so where have we got to now? We've got Jesdev and Bill. Bill 5-2 up in that round 3 match. Spectrodon still waiting, of course, on the winner. And now in the one loss side, we've got Spudboy and Chimpy have started. Chimpy's 1-0 up. And Bankster can't do anything until one of these players comes over from the winner's side. And Stubb just has to wait and see how Spudboy and Chimpy get on. Right, so we'll go in and we'll have a look at Mr. Bill and Jesdev. Jesdev is getting 6 and out, which again is a very dangerous handicap for Bill. But Bill is on the hill. And Jesdev cannot afford to mess this up. And that's far too heavy. That is a touch like a sledgehammer. And this 5 ball will still cut. But I'm too late again. I'm too late again.
Where's the cue ball going?
So Bill almost home and dry. But he should be within the next 30 seconds. So Bill goes through against Jesdev by 7 racks to 2. And, excuse me, Bill is now lining up to face Spectrodon. And now in the one loss side, Chimpy is 1 rack all with Spudboy. We'll go in and watch that. Spudboy at the table, no shot in the 6. And again, a very dangerous handicap. Spudboy's getting 6 and out here, and he's got no pocket for the 6 ball to go in. And is that not going to get to a rail? Well, there's a fatal mistake. First one of the night. Well, you might be right, Mark. Kiss of death. I just need to come into the room and players start falling apart. Spudboy not getting the ball to the rail. In fact, that 6 ball might have cut into the side. He would have needed to slam it, but I think it might have cut. We'll never know. Well, that's a sort of unforced error you can't afford to make, especially in a race to 4. But it seems to me that I have brought the dry break disease. And look at this for a setup. Spudboy with a plum 1-8 combo for the rack. Well, I don't know what he's looking around for, because I mean, all he needs to do is hit it. It's done and dusted. Couldn't have asked that to finish any better. So very quickly, Spudboy back all square. Oh, the 2 ball looked in the hole, it didn't go. Something else has gone, no. Don't know what it is. The 2 ball? Not the 2 ball. 2 balls over the pocket. What else went? The 4. And a 1-2 combo. I don't know whether he wants to play this 1-2 combo. Does he? Well, he needs to play it dead weight. And see that? Almost got away there. And now avoid the hit on anything here and get up the table to see the 3. Let's have a look at the angle here. Well, he could try and spin into the gap between the 9 and the 6. Oh, if you're going to let it run like that, you've got to let it run with a wee bit more pace. Now he's in an ugly position here, hampered by the 5, and trying to keep this 3 ball safe. That's a better safety. Maybe need to play this with a bit of left English. And the double kiss has done Chimpy a big favour. Well, at that angle, it looks as if it's hitting the 6. Yeah, even from where I'm looking at it, it looked as if he didn't have the line there to hit the 3. So ball in hand for Chimpy. Well, he wants a good line in the 5 if he's taken into the right side pocket, so he can just stop it or come back for the 6. Well, that's fairly straight, so he wants to get, unless he wants to roll through and leave the cup from the other side. No, he's coming back. Oh, I'm struggling to keep my eyes open. But Chimpy's going to be 1 away. And Spud Boy needs to get used to this 6 and out and this next rack if he can. Well, something's gone in. In fact, 2 balls have gone in this time, the 1 and the 5. And it's going to have to be a jump. I mean, it's an easy enough kicking the 2. Oh no, he's decided to push. Now, in doing that, he's got rid of one of Spud Boy's money balls. Well, Spud Boy, of course, can play from here or he can pass it back to Chimpy. He's decided to play. Now, Chimpy's got to be careful if he's going to punch this 2 because this could run into the 3 and stay up there. The line that this 2 ball's taking doing that, he's going to run into the 3. And he needs to get lucky, and he hasn't. I mean, you can see that coming a mile away. That it was very difficult to get that 2 ball around those angles without that cue ball clattering into the 3 and then staying at this end of the table. And Spud Boy has a shot here. That's not going to get there though. Let's have a look from this end. Oh, I think there's a very tiny edge of that two showing just a very thin sliver of a two ball. And there's just enough to actually pot it. Well, this is where Spud Boy needs to hold himself together, because if he can pot this three, he's most certainly going to have a shot in the four. Now, he's not looking at a line to pot the three. Well, he is now. I think he fell asleep there in the middle of the queuing up. He's overcut it. No, he hasn't. I thought that was going to hang up. So remember, he's getting 6 and out, and he needs this 4 ball and a shot in the 6 to take this to a final rack. It needs to keep going. Well, he couldn't ask for a better line on this 6 ball. Just to roll it in, and he'll have the break in the decider. So Spud Boy hanging in. Well, he's got the first part. He's potted a ball. Oh, these little nudges. And he's certainly not got a shot in the 1. And what was it? When the 4 ball has gone in the break, and now he's just running for cover. Well, has he called the push out? He hasn't called it yet. He has now. Well, you're cutting across the 1 to bank it up the table, and you can keep the cue ball up this end and try and get behind one of these balls. That's what he's tried. He just hasn't got it tight enough to prevent Spud Boy being able to jump this, but I don't think he fancies it. He's trying to find a line off a rail. Well, if he's going, to me the easiest side is to get it from there. He's trying to get it from the short side. Well, I think he wanted to play that a lot harder than that. All he's done is nudged it to a pocket. Mind you, having said that, it's gone right onto the rail, I think. No, it's not. Good few millimetres off it. But this has got to be up and down for Chimpy. Up the table and back down the table. Oh, he's trying to hold it. No, he's decided he wasn't going for it. Well, I thought he was going to try the cut. Spectre Dawn, I think, would have tried the cut. But more to the point, Spectre Dawn would have got it. Well, this is where you just play a little delicate one and try and get the cue ball back behind the 3. Send that 1 ball up to about there. Well, that works as well. Oh, that 1 ball might have been cracking to the pocket there. And Bankster has sent Jesdev home by 4 racks to 0. Well, now Spud Boy has got a fairly straightforward 1 up the table. don't hook yourself behind the 3. He's went nowhere near the 3. And don't overhit this and try and get up the table, because you don't need to. You could end up hooking yourself behind the 9. Now, this is fairly straightforward here. I mean, in all honesty, Spud Boy should be out here. Now again, with this shot, you've got to get a hold of the cue ball and not hook yourself behind the 7. You've got to dig into the cue ball here and get this back off the 5. Needs to miss the 7. He's gone around the rails, but he's got there. Now, one more shot just to get the cue ball up the table. In fact, tell a lie, I only needed the bloody 6. I forgot it was 6 and out. And so Spud Boy comes back and sends Chimpy home. So this handicap's working for a lot of these guys tonight. They're getting the use of it. We've seen a lot of casualties because of it. And Chimpy's another one. Spud Boy wins by 4 racks to 3. And another quick check in the bracket. See where we are now. So, Bankster now is going to play Spud Boy. Well, tell a lie. After Spud Boy takes care of Stub. Now, Spud Boy was getting what? 6 and out there. He'll be getting something similar. In fact, tell a lie, he'll be probably getting 5 and out. Yes, he is. He's getting 5 and out against Stub, and that is really, really squeaky bum time for Stub. And Mr. Bill, Inspector Don. Bill is 3 racks to 2 up. But I think, do we want to watch Bill and Inspector Don, or do we want to see an upset? What do we want to do here, eh? Do we want to watch how Spud Boy gets use of his 5 and out against Stub? I'll have a quick blow in my nose, just a sec. Right, well, that's Slim voting to see his best pal losing, so we're going to go in and watch Spud Boy. Who's fallen asleep in the Spud Boy Chimpy match? So Stub wins the lag, and most of Spud Boy's money balls have gone. Well, tell a lie, only the 6, but it felt like it. And there's the first bit of danger. Stub should have pushed out there, and he got lucky. Or has he? Oh, one thing's for certain. Spud Boy is going to be in trouble in a second. Unless the 2 ball goes in. Oh well. But, oh. I don't know whether this will hold a line. Yeah. So ball in hand for Stubb. Well, I think he's just going to have to leave this thin cut in the 3 and try and get the cue ball out. And this is the problem with this shot, is getting the cue ball out of there. Well, he's gone for the bank. And that was the right way to do it, because if you're trying to cut that 4, the 3, sorry, and run through and out, you were asking for trouble. So Stubb wins the first rack. He's got a ball in the break. He's got half a shot in the 1. He's going to have to do all these cut shots to stay at the table here. This is where it can backfire on Stubb. You know, he could easily duck for cover here, but he's going to go all out. You know, and he's hung the 3. But I think he's got second prize again. Well, I think Stubb, it's not Stubb, Spud will settle for that. I mean, Stubb's still going to have a go at it, and again, I hope he gets lucky to get on the 4. Well, that's a really poor shot from Stubb. I mean, the pace he played it, he had to play it at that pace to get the 4 ball into the hole. And this is where the money ball handicap can come into play. If Spud has a shot in the 5, well, he's got a cut into the side, and he's bound to be on the 6 if the cue ball will stop spinning. And Stubb's blaming his mouse. Now, can Spud Boy pick the line in this 5? Is that the line? Yes, it is. Suddenly it's 1 rack all. Two ball goes in. Oh, well, he should be running for cover here, Spud Boy. He's got a good safety on. I mean, if he just sends that 1 ball off the rail, down behind the 7 and 9, bring the cue ball back across. Well, he's got to get cover. Now Stubb doesn't know. I mean, he's not going to knock the 1 in anyway. But if he hits this, if he does jump this one ball might not go anywhere. It might run into the 5. Is he trying to billiard off the 1? No, I don't think he's lined the jump up at all. And Spud Boy has ball in hand. Well, he's not got anything that he can play as a combo, so I mean, he's played virtual pool long enough, he should be knowing the sensible thing to do. And he has to be wary of this 4 ball, because the 4 ball is tight past the 8 into the side. So he needs to have a good look at that before he plays the 3, and he's having a look. Now, he wants to get right through to here with the cue ball. He doesn't want to be here, he wants to be here. So he's got to let this roll. He wants to get to the donut. In fact, if he got to there, that'd be even better, because then he can run it in. Well, he's trying to do acrobatics with the cue ball, and that was a stupid shot. That was really daft. I mean, you've got to play the sensible shot and roll through, and you've got half a pocket to get the cue ball in. I mean, you start running the cue ball for no reason, you're asking for trouble. Now he needs to get lucky. And he hasn't, and his chance is gone. I mean, I talk about this all the time. Players like Spud Boy need to be taking their medicine and doing the simple thing and not trying to do something spectacular. I mean, the simple thing was to see that ball had half a pocket to get into, and all you need to do is roll through to get on it. Instead of trying to run the cue ball some way and hoping you're going to get on it. And what's Stubb done here? Well, look at where the 8 ball's sitting. He's got to move this cue ball. Unless what's he doing? Is he going to stun across or draw off the rail? Or is he banking it? He's playing the bank, but that's not going to hold any sort of line. Now he needs to hope this rolls and rolls and rolls. Well, let's have a look. Will that cut in? I think at that angle it won't cut in. I don't think it will. Well, all you do is just brush it. If you're brave enough, just brush it. But that's not brushed soft enough, because it now goes in. But the 8 ball is still a problem. Well, he's just content to leave it at distance. And he's got to get across the table to have half a shot in the 9. And he's pretty much got there. So Stubb into the lead. But always got to be wary of this 5 and out. Well, he's got a ball. And he's got a shot. The 1 goes, the 2 goes past the 6. 3 into the side. He's got to get from the 6 to the 7. Well, he's made life easier there. He's run into the 7. I think he can just let this run plain ball. He's drawn off it. Yes, he is. Got the pace right in that one. You always want to get that cue ball back to you about the middle pocket to open up the angle in the 9. So Stubb on the hill, and the 3 ball bounces off the short rail, comes back up, runs into the 2 and bounces back into the top right hand pocket. Well, this is tight. Oh, he's had a bang. And the 1 ball hanging over the pocket. Now this is a chance for Spud Boy. All the balls are there if he can get a shot in the 2. And he can just come back off the 1 and he's get the 2 into the side. But again, he's drawn the cue ball. He's trying to just... He's not doing the simple thing. The simple thing was just to leave the 2 into the side. And okay, if it wasn't the right angle, you can try and get lucky and get on the 4. But you've got to make life simple to start you off. And now he's in no man's land here. But that's a good shot. But again, unlucky. And that might... Well, this might be his last shot. Yeah, I think it is. Well, Stubbs still got to get half decent on this 6 ball. Let's have a look. Oh, he's absolutely dead straight. And, I mean, a blind man could see that. I don't know what Stubb was trying there. It was dead straight into the side. And Spud Boy has had a complete brain fart and he's forgotten about the 6. And well, if ever you're going to make a complete arse of it, Spud Boy's an expert at it. Just sold himself down the Swanee there, potting the 7 ball and not paying attention to what's still in the table. Well, that's the numpty shot of the night. Spud Boy gets the gold medal for that one. Gifted the match in the end to Stubb. But as long as Spud Boy had a good night, that's fine with him. Oh dear. Well, I wouldn't describe it as entertaining. That's what I wouldn't describe it. Certainly not that last shot of Spud Boy. That was pure numpty. Out the top drawer. What the hell am I doing here? Let's have a look. So Stubb goes through and he's about to start playing Bankster. Meanwhile, Bill and Spectre Dawn are 6 racks apiece. And Bill has the chance. Well, he's going to have to play a good one on this 5 ball. He's got to get the cue ball running here. This is 100% to get it moving, and he's played it perfect if he doesn't scratch. And it is a scratch match, no handicap. How straight is he in this 6? Oh, this is one of these ones. You just pick the line and go for it. Don't hang about. Is that going to get in? Yes, it is. Pocket weight. So Spectre Dawn is going to the madhouse that is the one lost side. Bill wins the match by 7 racks to 6. Now, what have we got? We've got Bill through to... well, that was a hot seat match. Bill's through to the final. And Spectre Dawn moves over to the one lost side, and that says it, 25 past 9. And Spectre Dawn waiting on the winner of Bankster and Stubb. So Bill can now have a coffee break. Bankster is getting a 5 ball. And Bankster is on the 4. And the 5 goes into the side, so just kill it stone dead. Loads of room past the 7. So Bankster off to a good start. One lost side, race to 4. But no sooner have I entered the room than I've brought the dry break bug with me again. Now, one thing's for certain though. Stubb doesn't have a shot in the one other than a kick and a bang at this. He's bound to get this in. And the cue balls followed the 6 in. And ball in hand for Bankster. Two ball in the open, 3 in the open, 4 in the open, and it's not a 5-7 combo. That's the one thing that can prevent Bankster from taking a 2-0 lead here. Well, I think you just drop this in dead weight. You don't, again, try to do anything fancy. Just drop it in. Now, this is the important one because you want to be cutting this 4 into the side so that you can just run down and leave yourself a sight in the 5 into this corner pocket, because that's the shot. So you want to get right over as far to be able to just cut this, and don't interfere with this 8 ball. You don't want to be heading that direction. Well, you want to hit it a bit better than that though, and this is dangerous because this is an odds-on scratch. I mean, he's underhit that by a country mile because he wanted to be here. He didn't want to be there. This is just asking for trouble. How does he avoid the scratch? He's trying to draw off this, but it's thin, and it was the fact that he was trying to avoid the scratch that he didn't pick the right line on the 5 itself. And Stubb cannot see the edge to pot it. And has he got cover? Yes, he has, but Bankster will be out of the jump stick. Well, at least I'd expect him to be. Yes, he is. So this for a 2-0 lead. And it goes. Perfect little jump shot. And Stubb now under pressure. Oh, the 1 ball hits the short rail and bounces off the 8 and goes in. What was that one that happened in the other rack there? Did exactly the same thing. Hit the short rail, bounced back up the table, bounced off the 8 and goes back into the corner pocket. And a shot in the 2. And a shot in the 3. And a shot in the 4. And Bankster should be 3-0 up. Well, he's dead straight in the 3 though. Now again, I think he can stun this in firm and pinch a tiny bit. Well, he's trying to use the rail. That was clever. Has he got out far enough? Yes, he has. But the 5 doesn't go past the 9. So he needs to get out into the table. Or, well, I don't think he's got much alternative. He's got too much angle on the 5 to hold for the 4 to hold for the 5. Oh, that's good if it bounces. Well, you've now got your choice. Bank into the corner. Or just roll it to the rail and try and keep it safe. And Stubb now cannot leave Bankster a sight on this 5 ball. He's played the bank well. Nice little bump onto the 6. And he's going to have to cut it. Well, the good news for Stubb is that's Bankster's money ball gone because it's not 5 and out, it's only the 5 ball. And I think Stubb is off the mark here. Well, that's us been 2.5 hours into the tournament. And Stubb has potted a 2 and a 7 in the break, shot in the 1. Well, I missed it again.
Where's the cue ball going?
So ball in hand for Bankster. Well, this should be fairly straightforward. And he's gone slightly inside the 4, which is perfect. But don't hook yourself behind the 8 or do anything daft. Make sure you can see the 5. And the one surefire way of doing that will be to stun that in and get out and leave yourself the cut. If you start running that way and going this way, you should still be on it. Well, he's done neither. He's just letting it roll, taking its natural path. I'd still expect him to get this in. So it's Bankster on the hill with the break. Oh, the cue ball gets kicked in. So Stubb, ball in hand, and has to find a way out. And the problem is the 4 ball. Now, is Stubb going to do a slam bam thank you ma'am here? Because I can't see any obvious way he's going to get the 4. He's deciding to leave the bedhead cut. Good bit off the rail. I would expect him to get this in. 5 goes. 6 goes. So it's all about the 4 ball. That's perfect. Can drop down behind the 6. 7 ball over the pocket. This rack's over. Ideally, what Stubb wants here is a ball in the break, and he wants it to be the 5 ball. That would be the perfect break. But I think the 9 ball has gone. The 9 ball comes back up. The 3's also gone, and he's had a blast at the 1. Now, what's Bankster thinking here? I don't know what he's doing. Trying to get cover one way or another. That'll do. Again, Stubb. You rarely see him using the jump cue. He usually likes to kick. But he might bail out this time. And now Bankster clean sight on the 1. 4 ball over the corner pocket, and then has to find a path out between the 8 and 9 and up the table. But I think he's got himself dead straight. Oh, I forgot about the 2 ball. I never even noticed the 2 ball there. I'm thinking it was just the 4 ball that was left. That's proof I'm getting tired. Well, he still ended up dead straight in the 4 anyway. It should just be a straightforward draw. And the pace in that's perfect. Unless he's gone dead. No, he hasn't. He's got a nice little angle in the 5. Well, he doesn't need an angle because he just needs the 5 for the match. And so Stubb goes home. Bankster has made the use of the 5 ball, and he beats Stubb by 5 racks to 2. So now Bankster will be getting, I would think he might be getting, what, 7 and out? Something like that against Spectre Dawn. It can't be far off it. Or he might be getting, I think he might be getting 7 and out. It'll be close on that, I would say. So somebody always falling asleep in these rooms. There's somebody stuck in the Bankster and Stubb room. So, Bankster now to play Spectre Dawn. They're probably... Well, they've already started. No, Bankster's getting the 5 ball again. I thought he might have been getting something like 7 and out. Good evening to Bedhead. Late to the party. The missus has woken me up twice. You should be in bed as well. I should have been in bed 40 minutes ago. Well, he's going to have to punch the cue ball and get the spin working. Where's the cue ball going?
Where's the cue ball going?
Welcome back to Slim. No, I'm not dedicated, I'm bloody crazy, that's what I'm. So Bankster off the mark. But he's came up dry again as well. And what's Spectre Dawn looking at here? And he's lining up the 1-9. Now Bankster, nice little cut in the 1, and if he doesn't scratch the side, he'll be on the 2. Then the big problems start. Look at where the 3 ball stuck. Don't hook yourself behind the 5. So a reminder to any latecomers, that the black ball, or I'll say that again, the 2022 Virtual Black Ball World Championship, we have a final, if I can get this to work, hang on. And the match is set for Sunday at 7 p.m. British Summer Time. That's 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Eastern Standard Time, and 11 a.m. Pacific. And it's between Albinario from Sweden and Cobra from the United Kingdom, or otherwise known as England. And it's a race to 15. And Steve said he'll be there on Sunday. I've got every intention of being there. And I hope you can join us. Meanwhile, Bankster's 2-0 up against Spectre Dawn. And I think he's come up dry again. I don't think anything went. Oh no, 4 balls gone. I missed that. Now, what does he do here? Does he have a slam at the 5 with a 1 ball? No, he's looking for the cut and hoping that he still has a sight in the 2. That's well played. That's perfect. Well, now, I don't know whether he can avoid that 8 ball. Doesn't look like it. Well, the first priority is potting the 2 to start with, and then hoping you still are able to see the 3 regardless of what happens. Yeah, he's trying to get acrobatic again. And, well, he could have left this easier for Spectre Dawn, because again, Spectre Dawn's going to be playing the cut up the table, but he has to get action in the cue ball, or he has to leave the bedhead cut, one way or another, if he's going to get anywhere onto that 3 ball. And he's going, well, he's trying to play it pocket weight and let the cue ball through the gap, and he got there. He just didn't get the first part of it right. He never got the pot. And Bankster could have had it easier than this, but the thin cut, and again, across the table twice, and as long as you're on the right side, you'll have a decent enough pot, and that's decent enough. And this is all about the weight of shot again. Trying to nurse this in and hold the cue ball, and he hasn't quite done it. Well, I think you look at the cutting angle, and you play this plain ball into the side while he's cutting it to the corner, and that's perfect. It was either or what way he wanted to go, and it's 3-0. And look at that 9 ball. That is very dangerous where that is sat. And Spectre Dawn has to get there. Because if he makes any sort of mistake here, this 9 ball just asking to be knocked into the hole. Well, that's great news that you're actually going to turn up for the final, Cobra. Thanks for letting us know that. Oh, I tell you, the state I feel right now, I don't think I'd be there at this time of night. And I'm sorely lacking about 2 hours sleep more than what I get. So, Spectre Dawn, the inevitable happened. It was going to be some sort of combo into the 9. And he's off the mark, but it's no miss 9 ball for the rest of this match for Spectre Dawn. Now, how does that 1 look? Well, it cuts in. Again, he's got to dink this in and make sure he sees the 2. I mean, if anything, hit it with a bit of pace and make sure you run around and come out. Don't try and get clever. Aye, like that. That's a much more sensible shot. At least get the cue ball out. Well, this is tough enough as a pot from distance, but he's got to get the 4 ball. So, again, lots of work to do. Yeah, again, doing loads of stuff with the cue ball to try and get it moving. And this is by no means easy here for Spectre Dawn. I mean, this is ugly. He's close to the rail. He's got to really jack up to get into this cue ball. But he might just be coming across to leave the cut. Like that. What's he done here? He's got to kick this in now. Well, would you believe it? Wrong button. So Spectre Dawn, I don't think he could get really good on the cutting angle, that 7. And he's ran it into the jaws. And he's given Bankster the chance to get this done. Now, this 9 ball looks easy where it's sat, but we all know how it all can go wrong. Get to the middle pocket on the right hand side, at least the middle pocket. And that's the problem for Bankster, is you don't want to get square and you don't want to get below it. because this is this no man's land shot that you don't want, but he's played it well, and Bankster has got the handicap working for him tonight, but Spectre Dawn made the big blunder at the end there that cost him the match. That 7 ball will haunt him for the rest of the night. So Bankster goes through by 4 racks to 1. And so that means that Bankster is now going to be playing Bill in tonight's final. And it's 10 minutes to 10. And it's a race to 9. And again, I think Bankster will be getting the 5 ball again, maybe. Or I don't think he's going to be getting anything better than that against Bill. Yep, he's getting a 5 ball, but the 5 ball certainly works for him. But Bill won the lag. He's broke off. He's got the 8 ball in the break. And he's taking his eye completely off the 1 ball, looking at the 2. And these are the type of errors, the unforced errors that the players with the big ratings cannot afford to do against this guy. Because Bankster is no mug, as I found out last week. Well, I already knew that anyway before I played him. But if you're giving any sort of handicap away, you don't want to be... First of all, you don't want to be giving a handicap to Bankster. And secondly, when you are, you don't want to be doing duff shots like Bill's just played. Because that's asking for trouble. Yeah, well, you see, Bankster Bankster hadn't quite made up his mind what he was trying to do there with that cue ball, and in the end, he didn't go through with the shot. He wanted to get into that a lot more, I think, and he sort of chickened out halfway through it, and in the end, did neither. And that's gifted an opportunity for Bill to very quickly rescue the situation here after his blunder on the 1 ball. Well, this is what you call the bedhead cut. It's now become world famous, the bedhead cut. Everybody wants to try it. I had an idea for setting up a little competition for a high run in straight pull on normal pockets, not tight pockets that we had in that last tournament. But what I haven't quite worked out is what should the settings be in terms of... I mean, looking at... I'll give you an idea. If you noticed the links I was posting last week in the VP4 lobby, John Schmidt, who was the guy that eventually beat Willie Mosconi's 60-odd year record for the high run and straight pull. I think Willie Mosconi's was 500 odd. Was it 525, and then John Schmidt got 625. Well, last week John Schmidt spent about 5 days attempting to beat the world record. He came nowhere near it. The best he got was 300 odd. He had numerous attempts at it, like in 4 or 5 hour sessions that they streamed live. And I'm just wondering that if we try to do something like that in VP4, what would be the criteria and the settings for it, other than the table being the normal pockets? What would be the time limit that somebody would get in attempting to get a high run? And more importantly, would anybody be bothered to try and be part of that competition? Bearing in mind there's going to be no big tournament now for at least a couple of months. There'll be nothing running while Steve is away, and we're coming to the end of May, and Steve will be away early in June for certainly 3 weeks or more. So he won't be back till near the end of June. Now, he did mention about opening sign-ups before he went away. I don't know whether he'll remember to do that or whatever, but it should be sign-ups for the Virtual 9-Ball World Championships, which have come too late. I mean, the sign-ups should be open now, long before he goes away, to give people enough time to get in. And then it's going to have to start at some point, either at the very end of June or into July. Something like that. Is that going to get there? I don't think that's getting there, Bankster. Well, the one thing that's certain is Bill can't pot the fort. It's just as easy brushing off the 4 and running up to the 6. Well, if you can get the spin right off the rail and give this a thump, you might get lucky. Or you could do that and just hook him behind the 8. Pretty much. And just leave him an edge of the 4 showing. Well, that's the thinnest of edges you can get in a 4. And that was well played by Bill. It's got Bankster in trouble again. And this time the danger is that Bankster has a lash at this and brings the 7 into play, as well as the 4. Because this is what you don't want to do. I think he should be banking across just to try and roll onto the 4. He's got the angle to do that. I don't know why he's looking at this side. No, he's played the jump and he's left the 7 where it is, and that's actually not a bad result. I mean, that could have ended up really ugly. He could have just kicked from the other side rail and rolled onto it, but I think he'll settle for that though. It's not an easy 4 ball. And Bill is going to have to dig the jump stick out to bail out if he thinks he can get over the 6. I think he's got enough room to do it. He gets loads of practice with his jump stick, so I'm surprised he's looking around at angles. I thought he'd be straight out with the jump stick. Well, he's resorted to the old faithful. And that 5 ball's going to die over the pocket. And Bankster is going to be all square. Let me have a read at this chat. Hang on a minute. What does that say? Well, that would be Albanario would win that. Albanario would win that hands down. I don't care who's in the tournament. Because Albanario is the best all-round virtual pool player. Doesn't matter what game it is. 3 cushion billiards, snooker, 9 ball. He would win that with a country mile. Meanwhile, Bill out of the jump stick again. This is looking good if the cue ball dies. But it hasn't. The 1 ball's escaped and come up the table. Now, if Bankster can just cut the 1, come into the gap with the 4 ball and the 8. Oh, he's digging down again. Well, that's well played because he could have just potted that plain ball. And if he'd got to the side rail, just studding the 2 in and he was out onto the 3. But that works as well. I think the thing is, if you're going to do something like that, you need somebody to set up a web page for it. Because you can't expect it to happen in Virtual Pool 4. Steve wouldn't be setting up any kind of web page for that. Somebody else would have to do it. One of the guys that can do things like that. You'd have to ask them to do you a favour first. So, to do events like that, everything's in the preparation. Right. See you later, Cobra. I won't be long after you. Just put the hot water bottle over my side, please. Thanks for watching. And cut your toenails in future. That's a good little cut by Bill. Six ball into the side, I would think, and then he can drop down in the 7. Well, he's leaving it long. I would have been much happier to get the cue ball out so that I'm potting the 6 and I know I'm definitely going down onto the 7. I mean, this is still, see, the trouble with that shot is that. That's the trouble with that shot. I mean, if you get the cue ball out, then you know that you're not going to be doing something like that. It's easy enough to cut it in. He's cut the 7, but the cue ball's running and you don't know whether you're going to have a shot next. Like that. He may well get away with this, Bill, but he could have made his life a lot easier by running the cue ball out further and cutting that ball into the side pocket rather than playing it long and straight. And Bankster has gone off the table. So now Bill, he should have it easy. This time he wants to roll past the side pocket. And the match will be all square. Remember, the final's a race to 9. Bankster getting a 5 ball. The dangerous 5 ball. Oh dear.
Where's the cue ball going?
So, the scratch from Bill. And the 2 ball's a problem. Got to have a sight on it one way or another. Regardless, he can play a billiard off the 2 onto the 6 if he finishes below it. If he finishes nigh on perfect like that, he can play the little combo. Couldn't have asked for that much better. Just got to dink this in. Yeah. He had to dink it a bit less than that, but he's still got a shot. He looks as if he's looking for cover. But you see, you've got to get these things tight with Bill. If you don't get them tight, Bill's just going to leap over that every day of the week. That cue ball needs to be stuck to the 3 to prevent Bill from bailing out with this jump cue. Where's the 2 ball? Oh, I thought he was going to get lucky there. But it sneaked through the gap as well. And Bankster, well, he's got a start in terms of potting the 2. Now he's got to avoid the 9 ball and get into a narrow window to be able to play a cut into the same pocket. Well, he's decided to go for distance. And he's overcut the 2. And once again, he's been reasonably fortunate here with where he's left this cue ball. I don't know what Bill's trying here. Oh, he's played that well. That was a cracking shot. That's extremely unlucky. There wasn't much of a pocket showing there, but Bill found a line. And it may well cost him. The only good news for Bill is that Bankster's 5 ball has gone. So Bankster has to get these all in the hole. To take the lead again. Well, this is another one of these in between shots. Cue ball's heading towards the 8 ball. He's trying to avoid that though. But he's still got to get the pot first of all. And he's overcut it. And Bill will take these all night as long as Bankster keeps going for his shots. I mean, they're not easy the way he's leaving these. And this is making Bill's life a lot easier. I'll be back in a minute. Well, another little awkward one for Bill. And that's the problem. Little awkward angles. And this is awkward as well. It's deep in the pocket. And that's that's the end result of that. And now Bankster's got trouble. He's going to have to just leave a really long cut in this 9. He couldn't get ambitious with it. Just had to make sure he potted the 8. Well, he need to change his glasses. He completely missed that on the way up. Well, this time Bill makes no mistake. And now Bill is the player with daylight between him and Bankster. 4 racks to 2. Couple of balls in either corner pocket. A thin cut in the 1. Now, if he gets really lucky here, he can brush off that 8 ball at the right pace. He doesn't want to slam it. Well, he's hit the 7 as well, and it's knocked him dead, but he might have been lucky just to roll through and been able to play the 3-9 combo. Now he's got a dodgy 3 ball up the table. Just enough room past the 5. That's well played. And that is perfect. He's got a perfect little angle in the 4. Well, again, Bill's just going to have to bail out up table here, I think. Just leave the long 8. As long as he has an angle, it's the most important thing of the shot. Any angle like this will do, because the cue ball just does its natural thing. Back out into the table, cutting the 9, and it's 5-2. Well, he's also... What's this? Oh, the 3 ball still spinning. He's got the 7 in the break. He's got the thin cut in the 1. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, he's chipped it in the way back. Now, Bankster's shot in the 1 isn't a problem. The cue ball is coming down for the 2-3 combo. But that's not his problem. This is again got to be dinked absolutely dead weight here. Well, he's hit it a wee bit firmer and everything's fine. Now, does he? How does he get this 5 ball? How does he deal with it? He's took a risk and it's worked. He's chipped the 8 ball out of the way, and he's still got a shot in the 4. And now he has to back it up now and get the job done. Risky shot, but you know, sometimes you just got to stick your neck out once or twice. But this time it worked. And Bankster desperately needed that. But I don't think You get any luck in the break, it's come up dry. And again, Bill resorting to Old Faithful. He'll settle for that result. Oh, that's gone ugly. Right tight onto the 4-ball. And again, anybody that wants to, if you can get a ball tight to a ball, it cuts down loads of angles. There's no angle on the side rail there. He's having to go up and down. He's got the hit, but ended up with a double kiss that now leaves Bill the little thin cut in the 1. But how does he deal with the 3? And this has ended up in no man's land. Well, it might be a good idea to try and kick this 2 towards the 3 and 6. And that's actually... He's played that with the right intentions there, because he's broke the 3 out and he's also got it safe on the 2. And now Bankster not only has to hit the 2, but has to rely on a bit of running to get it safe. Well, he hasn't found any sort of line there at all, so he's ran straight into the 4. So now Bill's previous shot has got him the reward with ball in hand. He's got the 3 ball in play, and they're all there, and he should be out. Oh, the cue ball!
Where's the cue ball going?
Well, the fatal error from Bill gives Bankster his chance to get this match back to within 1. Well, we're 3 hours and 19 minutes into the tournament. 5 ball, look at that 5 ball over that corner pocket. And that is Bankster's money ball. And Bankster, with the 1 and the 3 in the break, has got a 2-6 combo. Well, now again, what does he do here? Does he try and nurse this in and let the cue ball come up for a 4-8 combo? He's trying to run down the short side, and that's not bad. He doesn't need to worry about the 5. He's bound to be able to see the 5 ball. He's just got to worry about the pot and the 4. And he'll be all square. And in it goes. And suddenly we've got a match on. And Bankster's getting balls in the break. Where's the cue ball?
The trouble with Scotland...
Wrong one. Wrong button. I meant to do that one. I told you I'd forgotten the button combinations. So Bill, with ball in hand, trying to retrieve the situation here. I think he had a 5-2 lead. And all of a sudden it's 5-all. Got perfect angle on the 5 and 4 to get to the 5, but doesn't want to fall below the 5, and doesn't want to hook himself with the 9, so he's fell well short. And it's another dodgy cut in the 5, and this is Bankster's money ball, and he's hung it up. And this is a mistake you don't want to start making at this time of the match. Bankster back into the lead. He breaks dry. And look at where the cue ball's finished. Plumbing the 1. 2 ball wide open, 3 wide open. 4 he's going to have to get on it because it doesn't go down past the 9. And the other issue is that not only is he having to get on this 4 ball, is what does he decide if he gets good in the 4? Does he leave the 5-7 combo, or does he try something acrobatic to get onto the 5? Well, I think it's the latter. I think it's, I should say the former. I think he's got a nice angle in the 4. He wants to maybe just draw off this slightly. A bit like that, just to try and get it as straight as he can. And that's not bad. I think there's like a 9 out of 10 opportunity of getting this in. Oh, he's caught the knuckle. He's caught the knuckle. And that 5 cuts past the 7. And I don't know what Bankster's doing here. Well, he's done that. That works. Now, did Bankster play that? Well, the answer to that is no, he didn't. But I'll tell you, he has won a watch there. And he's got a 7-5 lead. He's got a shot in the 2, but once again, he's got to move this cue ball big time. Oh, disaster! That's always a problem. When you dig into the cue ball at that cut angle, the cue ball's always going to go left or right towards either side pocket at that angle. And Bill, once again, with the opportunity to recover, but straight away he's blown it. Now it has to hopefully kick that 5, but once again, and it's all going pear-shaped here for Bill, because the mistakes are happening at the wrong time. The lucky roll and the unlucky roll's happening at the wrong time. And suddenly Bankster's on the hill. And I'm sure he was 5-2 down in this match. I'd need to watch the rerun, but I'm sure Bankster was 5-2 down. And Bankster's now find himself one rack away, albeit that he's come up dry. And this is why you've got to be very guarded when you've only got a 5-ball money ball. When you start making mistakes at the wrong time, this is just working out a dream for Bankster. And that's a good little jump shot. Well, is this going to be deja vu? Bill trying to get across on the short side of the 3, which he's done. And I don't think he'll be trying anything too elaborate with this 3-ball. Just make sure you don't brush off the 7 and hook yourself behind the 9. He's missed the 7. He's avoided hooking himself behind the 9. And now he's got to stun across to play this 5-ball long down the table or into the side. Well, it's going to be into the side, I would imagine. Well, Bill is now finding himself in a position where he cannot afford any errors, let alone errors at the wrong time. Because if he does, he's gone. And this match is over. And I think Bill's turn to come up dry. And the 2-ball still spinning at the bottom of the table. And the 1-ball passes the 3. But look at where the cue ball's got to get. He's got to get down here, pot the 1, and get down this side. And that looks a good pace. But anything but stuck to the rail. Well, once again, just get the cue ball out into the table, but you've got to go over this side. He's not got much room to work with here. Got to get it out. I think he's just got enough. I think he just can see enough of the 3. But the problem is he might be hitting the 3 too thick to get this cue ball to come off the rail and get back up the table. Yeah, well, having to jack up and put spin on it to get around the 8. I think this time it's ride your luck and hope you miss the traffic and get back up the table for the 5. But Bankster's not picking the line, and he's tried a lot, 2 or 3 of these shots, and he's been nowhere near the shot to start with. And look where he's ended up with the cue ball. Absolutely perfect in the 5 for the match. But he was miles away from the 4. So now the pressure on Bill. Well, every shot the pressure's on because he cannot afford to make a mistake. Well, this is asking for trouble. He's left himself a distance from the 6-ball and still got to get this cue ball back. But he's played the stun draw perfect. That's how you play the stun draw. You get the power into the shot, but you don't get the fizz in the cue ball. So Bill has survived another rack. He's back to within 1. And with the break, and are we going all the way? Well, the ball's going into the side pocket. And one thing's for certain. Bill's got no shot in the 1. And if he decides to play a push out, he's got to be careful here because he could end up in trouble. Where this 1 ball is sitting, Bankster could come to the table here and have Bill in dire trouble. And I think Bankster can squirt behind that 4 and try and get down behind the 2. Just a brush on the edge of the 1. Well, he's hit that way too thick and he'll be in trouble himself in a second. Well, that was poorly played by Bankster. And that wasn't a lot better by Bill. I mean, okay, he's got cover behind the 6, but he's not got it tight. And this 2 ball is in the open, and as long as Bankster can jump this and not follow the 1 ball in, if he pots it, he'll have a shot in the 2, but the 3 ball's pretty much dead in the water. I don't think the 3 balls goes past that 6, it certainly doesn't. Well, we've gone past the 3.5 hour mark for the tournament. Yeah, there wasn't much that Bankster could do there. He's again just got to brush the thin edge in this 3. Well, he's managed to squeeze it in the gap of the 6. I didn't think that would go past that 6. That was a good shot. And that's the perfect outcome of a bank kick shot. Just kicking it stone dead, and the double kiss keeps the 3 to the rail. And now we're going to get the tippy tapping. Hopefully for not too long, because I want to get to bed. That's Bankster trying to be too tricky there. And that's backfired big time. And don't forget, Bill cannot afford a mistake. Well, I'll say it now. It looks like we're going all the way. Now, he wants to risk coming down far enough with this 6 ball. Yeah, like that, so that he can just dink the 7 in and not let the cue ball leak away too far. That's perfect. When he's potting this every day of the week, this is no problem. So it's Bill to break in the final rack decider for this week's Friday Night 9 ball. And don't forget, VP4 TV will be back on Sunday night at 7 PM British Summer Time for the VP4 2022 Virtual World Black Ball Championship Final. The race to 15 between Albinario from Sweden and Cobra from the UK. That's that match there. It's all set up for Sunday. You're welcome, Slim. Thanks for joining us. because I'm willing to bet you're the only one still watching. I think, well, Cobra's gone. I don't think there was that many on tonight. In fact, more of them preferred to get into the room and watch. Well, Bill, with a possible 2-9 combo here, it's a wee bit tricky because he's not on the line. But this for the match. And in it goes. So I think that's the first one maybe in a wee while for Bill. Not that he plays in all of them. But well done to Bill. He held his nerve because it was getting tricky there towards the end. I think he ended up in 8-5 down after being 5-2 up. So Bill goes through. He wins tonight's Friday Night 9 Ball. Well done to Bankster for getting there. And thanks to everybody for watching. And I will bid you good night because I am off to bed. And I will see you again soon.
Good night, ladies.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.